guys? This is Jivan with Reef. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about my experiences buying coral online for the first time. I live in Central Florida, where it's just pretty close to worldwide corals and the Top Shelf Aquatics, and live in Reef, Orlando, which are very good stores in my area. So I usually go to those stores in person, but obviously with the pandemic issues going around and social distancing, it's not as practical anymore unless there's a real need. Like, for example, if you need to buy salt, it's more understandable. But if you're gonna go to shop around for corals, in my opinion, you're better off just shopping online. So I decided to head to the Worldwide Corals website and look into some coral packs. I ended up adding an encruster pack, looking for something to encrust on the bottom of an aquarium since I have a bare bottom. Also looking to see if I can get something to encrust on some of the rock, to add a little nicer appearance to the rock and add some color. I also added a mix pack to see what I would get. Not really looking for anything specific at this time. And I got curious about seeing what I would get in a zoanthid pack. I never really liked zoanthids that much, but I know they add a lot of color and they grow quick and are easy to take care of, being that they're a soft coral and they don't require such stable parameters. But I don't want to use that as an excuse to, I guess you would call it, slack off on the aquarium right now. I guess I'm trying to use this time at home during this social distancing to maybe perfect my aquarium husbandry and maybe make it more efficient as well. So this is my 75-gallon Reef aquarium, literally the night before my shipment of worldwide corals got delivered. It's a standard dimension 75 with about 55 to 60 pounds of live rock. I went for a somewhat simple design on the aquascape. I wanted to make some bridges around in the middle and provide plenty of space for fish to have for shelter and allow plenty of surface on top to add coral. And I only wanted to have one peak, and I didn't want it to go so high. For example, in the future, whenever I would add, if I were to add any SPS corals in the top, it will be a while before it grows out and it reaches the top of the water, where I will need to prune the top of the corals. So this is the box the corals came in. It's a nice package, obviously with the trademark Worldwide Corals labeling, and the delivery was on time. I believe it came like at 9:53 in the morning of that day. There's some information on the subscription for Coral Club if you guys want to try it. And it comes with documentation. Comes with business cards, the regular things that you will find in a package when you and there's a promotion for Reefapalooza Chicago. This is a list of the corals I ended up getting. And it was a total of 14 frags with a decent variety of corals. I had some SPS, mostly LPS, and obviously the 4 zoanthids, I believe, was in that pack. There's an acclimation guide. It's pretty informative, and it tells you pretty much in a layman terms where to place your corals, and tells you the recommendation on dipping and handling. So inside the container, all the corals were individually bagged, and then they were all thrown inside another bag to prevent any leaks on the container. Now, there was one zoanthid that ended up leaking inside the bag, but it ended up having enough water to still stay submerged. I temperature acclimated all the corals inside my aquarium for about an hour and a half. Then moved them back inside the foam container to start opening up the bags in order to get them ready to be placed in the aquarium. As I placed the corals in the plastic container that I had set up on the side, I tried to organize the corals in order, but after a while, I kind of lost track of where everything was. And I'm not a huge proponent of keeping track of names of corals, especially if it's not anything high-end. So I just ended up taking them all out of the bags and get them ready to break the bottom of the plugs off to make it easier to attach the corals to the rock inside the aquarium. I ended up not dipping the corals before I added them to the aquarium. I have been to one of my corals farm when they opened the mega store. They had it open for the public, and you can see their quarantine process, and I'm pretty confident that these have no pest. And I never had any issues with any of the corals that I purchased from them in the past, other than most of the time that have had any issues is usually me probably killing it off accidentally or not doing certain things right when it comes to parameters. So I am not concerned at all with pests. The only issue that I have had was bubble algae, but that was introduced from another frag, which I ended up getting from a hobbyist, and I didn't do any cleanup process beforehand. But right now, I'm at the tail end of dealing with the bubble algae. I've been using Vibrant for about 3 weeks. And there seems to be good progress on the treatment. So I'm gonna let that take its course, and hopefully in about another 3 weeks, it should be done for. So here are all the 14 frags after I broke off the bottom of the plugs. I'm getting ready to put them on the tank. Now, when it comes to placement, I pretty much try to keep it varied. I didn't want to put everything of the same species next to each other. Just wanted to add some more variety across the tank. Obviously, some of the SPSs, I like the purple polyp bird nest, I put it on top where we'll get the most flow from the gyre, and try to keep it all varied. I can see I had that chalice, the Hollywood Stunner. I had it for a while, and when I was doing a water change, I ended up bumping the hose against it and broke some parts of it off. It's already starting to heal and grow from those areas again. And in the middle, I have right there 2 of the zoanthids, and then I have in this rock most of my Montes, and I wanted to add, my plan is on that rock in the middle right there, adding some SPS once I start getting some. And on the right here is where I have my torch. And I also added one of the new Montes that I received in the pack to add a little more color. My main goal is to have a coral from every angle that you see the aquariums, to somewhat not just make it one viewing angle. So if you want to look at it from the side, even though it's not as preferred, but you can still see some coral and color from whatever angle you may be looking at the aquarium from. Now, as far as what I ended up getting in the coral packs, for the encruster pack, I ended up getting the orange rim Leptoceras, a tan lardy Leptoceras, a scarlet stylo, and the German blue digi. For the mix, I ended up getting the midnight platy, open face war coral, a poker star Monty, a purple polyp bird's nest, and a Fellfire Turbinaria. And in the Zoanthe pack, I ended up getting the Nuclear Halo Zoas, Heads Reds Zoa, Coal Miner, Horizon Zoa, and the Jamba Juice Zoanthid. So I did get what I wanted, which was a decent variety of corals, and especially good amount of variety in color as well. Now, as far as future plans for the aquarium, like I said, I'm trying to, maybe in the next 2 months, purchasing some SPSs to put on that rock that has the highest peak, and possibly adding more Euphilia maybe to the left side to add more movement across the whole tank. And after that, we'll be mostly focusing on trying to get encrusting corals for the bottom of the aquarium, maybe in the back as well. But before any of that happens, I want to try and upgrade my power heads in the back of the tank, and possibly getting some MP10s and facing them towards each other to try and vary the flow a little bit in the back and keep the detritus suspended to take it out via mechanical filtration. I'm definitely going to try and use flow as my friend and help keep everything suspended so it can be removed by the filter floss. You know, as long as I change the filter floss every 2 to 3 days and keep up with it, it will keep maintenance down and just make it a lot easier to keep up with the maintenance of it. My main goal is to try and keep the system as simple as possible. Have as little amount of equipment as I can get away with. The MP10s, the main reason I will change into those is just because they're easier to switch out and clean. Like I can just remove the internal propeller and swap it out for a clean one, and then dump the dirty one in a bath of citric acid to clean itself within a couple of days, and it just makes it easier. Instead of having, for example, in these pumps, when I have to clean them, I have to unplug it and go out, take all the wire out, and it's just a little harder to get everything done. I do all that with the thought of, obviously, if you have a task, the easier the task is, the more likely you are to do it. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and hopefully you guys are staying safe. If you want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and hit the notification bell so you guys can be notified whenever I make new videos. Take it easy, guys.